Hello students, in this session we are going to discuss about arrays in C language. Array is nothing but it is a collection of similar data elements or similar data types. For example, if I say int a is equal to 10, if I say int a is equal to 10, then what happens inside the computer's memory, if you know, the data will be stored randomly. Data will be stored randomly. Somewhere A is going to store here. This will be the name of it, A. Okay. But what if I want to say similar type of data? For example, I need to store marks of different students of a class, or I wanted to store names of different students of a particular class. In that case, I can't create that many number of elements again and again. That means I can't create those number of variables again and again. For example, a class may have 50 students. Then if I wanted to store marks of 50 students, I need not create 50 variables there. Then what is the better option is, I may go for creating arrays there. I can create arrays there. That means using the existing data type, I create a new data type. That is the reason why arrays are said to be derived data type. They are derived from existing data type. Here integer is an existing data type, floating point is an existing data type. So using that one, we are creating something new, that is an array. Here array is a collection of similar data types, similar data elements. If I say, for example, I wanted to store marks of 5 students. I wanted to store marks of 5 students. So generally, if I don't have the concept of array, then what may I do? I may do something like this. Marks 1 is equal to 50. Int marks 1 equal to 50. Int marks 2 is equal to some 57. Int marks 3 is equal to 78. Int marks 4 is equal to 94. Int marks 5 is equal to 68. I may create like this. Okay, fine, because here we have only 5 number of elements. Fine, that is okay, you may create it. But what if you have some 50 students or 20 students, something like that? Even typing like this also will increase the number of coding lines here, which is not at all a correct one. So whenever you go for coding, your lines of code should be decreased. It should be compact and it should be easy. It should be easy. So this one is not at all valid. So what is a better option? The better option is we can go for creating arrays here. How do I create an array? If I go for creating array for the same, I may create something like this. Int marks. Now, how many number of elements do I have here? Here I have total of 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 elements. So the size of this one is 5 is equal to, if you wanted to initialize it here, you can initialize it here only. Like what is the first marks here? 50, 57, 78, 94 and 68. Right? This is how we can create and initialize an array. If we go for talking about a general syntax of an array, it will be something like this. Here data type followed by name of the array name followed by, what is this one here? 5 is nothing but number of elements in it, nothing but the size of the array. So array name followed by size. That's it. This is how we declare an array. We create an array using this syntax only. Okay. Now, so moving on further, how does this go and represent inside the memory? For example, if I have only a single element, if I have int a, then this a may go and settle into the memory somewhere randomly. But we are talking about arrays. There are certain advantages of array as well. Here, what is an array? Array is a collection of similar data elements. Fine. Second thing, the memory organization will be, these elements will be stored in contiguous memory locations. These elements will be stored in Contiguous memory locations means one after the other. For example, these elements, take the example of this one. Here, marks is the name of the array which is holding 5 elements, and each element is of what type? It is of integer type. Each element is of integer type. Now, the question is, how much data, how much memory does an integer element hold? The answer will be 2 bytes. It will hold 2 bytes. Right? Now, let us come, how does it store inside the computer's memory? Okay. Now, we have 50, 57, 78, 94 and 68 here under the name marks. So, inside the computer's memory, it will be stored in continuous locations. Okay. So, 50 here, 57, 78, 94 and 68 here. If you consider this one as the memory of the computer, then it will be stored in contiguous memory locations, and the name of this complete block will be marks. The name of this complete block will be marks, and each element will be identified using its index or its position, and always the array position starts from 0 onwards. Always the array position starts from 0 onwards, followed by the first element, second, third and fourth. If you observe here, I am mentioning a square bracket here, not any curly braces or so. If I wanted to access 57, then I need to use the name of the array followed by its index or its position. So if I wanted to access 57, I'll use it something like this. That's it. Okay. So this is how I access. Now, the advantage of using array is it is easy for you to access the element. Suppose I wanted to access 78 here. I wanted to access what is the mark of this person. I can directly access it. I need not go to 50, then to 57, then to 78. No, I can directly access marks of 2. Yes, that 78 will be displayed. So I can access them randomly instead of continuously. Next thing, they will be stored at equal memory locations at equal distance apart. For example, if I say this is an integer type of data, let it be the initial location is 2. The initial location, that is the initial address is 2. Then because it is an integer type of data, 50 holds 2 bytes. So the next element will start at 4th location. Then the next element will start at 6th location, because all are integer elements and each integer element hold 2 bytes of memory. So 2 bytes, 2 bytes, 2 bytes. In that way, equal distance apart they'll be stored. They'll be stored in equal distance apart. So if I ask about this element, it will be stored somewhere at the 10th location, 10th address in the memory. This is how the memory representation of an array will be there. Now, coming to how do you write a program using these arrays? Now, we'll see how we can accept 5 different students' marks and we will display the same. Just you initialize them and you read the same. I mean, you display the same values. For example, we have a program something like this. Then we have void main. Here, I have different student marks. For example, int student, I have some 5 different students and their marks are something like this. 5 students, or will take marks only here as the name, right? Marks of 5 students. Here some 55, 84, 97, 28, 68. Right? I have initialized it directly. Now I wanted to display the same marks, right? Now we'll take one more variable here, counter variable, that is I. Now I wanted to display these marks one by one in some format like this. I wanted something like this, like student 1 marks is equal to 55. I wanted this in this format. In the same way, student 2 marks is equal to 84. In the same way, student 3 marks is equal to 97. Student 4 marks equal to 28. Student 5 marks is equal to 68. I want my output to be in this way. So we'll see how I can write it in the program. Now here I would like to write a for loop where I'll get this counter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need a counter, right? 0th element, first element, second, third, fourth, and so on. Now, right. For I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to 5, I plus plus. Here I have taken 0 because I told you already that the array index starts from 0. That means the 0th element is 55, and because the size is 5, the last element will be at 5 minus 1, that is the 4th position. Okay. Now I wanted to get the output something like this, like printf. What do I need? I need to get student. Fine. Then here I want 1 here. Okay, I want 1 here. I'm writing only one statement. I'm not repeating it 5 times. So I need 1 here. But if you see, the I value is 0 here. So what we can do is I plus 1. Don't get confused here. I'm not doing something anything else. Student of 1. I need that. Student 1 marks equal to 55. Student 1. Where is it? It is I. Each time it is taking increment. So I value is equal to 0 initially, but now what do I need here? I need 1 here. So I have taken I plus 1, that is 0 plus 1, right? Student 1 marks is equal to 55. Where is this 55 stored? 55 is stored at this one. 55 is stored here. So what is the 0? 0 is I. So what do we take here? It is here. It is percentile D here and percentile D here. Sorry. Okay. Student percentile D marks is equal to percentile D. Now, the first percentile D, why did I write here? For I plus 1. So, I plus 1, comma. What is this one percentile D? It is for marks of 0. So, what do I take? 0. 0 is in I. So, marks of I. And that's it. My work is done. Okay. Finally, get CH, and that's it. Now see here. How does it work? Check it here. Here, up to here, it is initial. We have initialized it like int marks 5. That is data type followed by name of the array followed by size of the array is equal to initializing is done here. I have initialized the array. Now, let us draw it here. How does it go and store inside the memory? That is 55, 84, 97, 28 and 68 again. Right, and these are stored at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 positions or locations. Can't see here. Fine. So these are stored at 0th position, 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th positions respectively. Now coming to the for loop here. Inside the for loop, I have taken I is equal to 0 because the array starts at 0 onwards. Array starts from 0 onwards. So initially I have taken the value of I is equal to 0. Then I should be less than or equal to 5 because the maximum size is 5 I have taken. So the last element will be stored at I minus 1 location or n minus 1th location. Here I have taken the maximum size of the array as 5. So the last element will be at 4 because it starts at 0 and ends at n minus 1. If it is n, it ends at n minus 1th location. So that is the reason why I have taken less than 5. It's not equal to but less than 5 here. Right? And plus plus. Now, student percentile D. What is this percentile D here? It is I plus 1. What is the value of I initially? It is 0. 0 plus 1, that is 1. Student 1. The same thing will be displayed here. That is student 1 marks is equal to student 1 marks is equal to percentile D. What is this one? Marks of I. Marks of I. What is the value of I here? 0. So marks of I, marks of 0, marks 0, what is it? 55. The same thing will be displayed. If you check here, mark 0 is 55 only, right? Coming to the right, still it is in a loop, still it is in a loop. So what happens? Again I takes an increment. Now this time the value of I becomes 1, because previously it was 0, plus plus I becomes 1 here. Now is 1 less than or less than 5? Yes, it is less, so the condition is satisfied. So what happens? Again the same block executes, but this time the value of I will be 1 here. The value of I will be 1 here. So student percentile D, here again student percentile D, what is it? I plus 1. What is the value of I? I value is 1. 1 plus 1, that is 2. Then marks is equal to marks of I, that is marks 1 here, because I value is 1. So marks 1 is nothing but 84. So marks 1, that is 84. Again it takes an increment, again checks the condition. This time I becomes 2 because it is plus plus. Previously it was 1. Now it became 2. So is 2 less than 5? Yes, it is, because the condition is satisfying. It enters into the loop again. This time the value of I will be 2. Okay. Then student percentile D again. 2 plus 1, that is 3. So student 3 marks is equal to what? 97. Right. In the same way, again takes an increment. This time it is 3. I value is 3. So student I plus 1. So 3 plus 1, that is 4 marks is equal to marks of I, marks of 3, that is third position, that is 28. Then comes a student percentile D. Again this time it is I plus 1. So it became 4 here. 4 plus 1 is 5. Marks is equal to 4. Marks of 4. Marks 4. What is marks 4? It is 68. So now again it takes an increment. This time the value of I becomes 5. Then is I less than 5? Is 5 less than 5? No, it is not. So now it comes out of the loop, and finally that will be our output. Now if you see here I have initialized it here only, but what if I wanted to give my data from the keyboard, like I wanted to use a scanf statement and I wanted to give the output there? What if I wanted to do that? We'll see now. Same thing, everything remains the same, only one thing changes here. I wanted to write printf and scanf statement. That is, I need the system to ask me enter first student marks or enter second student marks, something like that, or student 1 mark, student 2 marks, something like that. Here if you see, I did not initialize any. Now again I'm writing a for loop here. I is equal to 0, I less than 5 again, I plus plus. This size doesn't have any limit, you can use any size. For the time being, to keep it short, I have taken 5 only. Right. Now what do I need? I need the system to ask me enter student 1 marks, enter student 2 marks. Okay. So I need the system to ask me enter student 1 marks, right? Then I would enter some marks. Fine. Again I need to ask it enter student 2 marks, enter student 3 marks. I want my output to be like that. So if you see here, this is continuously changing here, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay. So printf enter student 1 marks, enter student 1. How do I get 1 here? Here 1 is not a constant number, it is continuously changing. So this we are taking it as I. 1 2 3 4 we are taking it as I, but initially the value of I is 0. So what we'll do is here you put a percentile D here, enter student 1 marks, right? And what you will do here, what do I need? I need to get 1. How do I get 1? 0 plus 1, that is I plus 1. I plus 1. Right? Then scanf percentile D where do I need to put the marks? Whatever marks I am entering, where should I put it? I should put it in the 0th position of marks array. If this is the array marks, right, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I need to put this subject mark, this student marks in 0th position. So percentile D, where should I put it? In the array marks. At which position do I need? I need to put it at 0th position. What is it? 0, 0 means I here. So I. Right? In this way, it will continue till the loop comes to an end, as we have seen in the previous case. Now, suppose while executing this, it has asked me enter student 1 marks. Right? Then I gave I plus 1. Fine. Okay, so I have entered some element from the keyboard like 84, 92, 83, 67, 78. I entered some marks like that. Now I wanted to display one by one. I wanted to display one by one. So again I need to write a for loop here for I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Then will display the same there. Like I need to display student 1 marks is equal to student 2 marks is equal to and so on, or I may simply give marks 0 equal to marks 1 equal to also. So we'll write it something like this. I need the output to be like this. Marks 0 is equal to 84. Marks 1 is equal to 92. Marks 2 is equal to 83. Marks 3 is equal to 67 and marks 4 is equal to 78. So printf, I need my output to be like this. Marks 0. 0 means again it is a counter variable. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So I, marks of I, that is percentile D is equal to what? It is I. So it is marks of I here. Done, and that's it. Finally, get CH and done. Okay, if you see here, again a loop will be run till the condition is satisfied, till the value of I is less than 5, because I need marks 4 is equal to, so till 4 it has to execute. It will execute and it will give me the same as output. Now here we need to remember one thing. There are advantages and disadvantages also of an array. Advantages, I can access the elements randomly throughout the array wherever I need. The identification or accessing will be simple. Second thing, coming to limitations, the size of the array is fixed. Like you have given 5 here, that is fixed. If you are using it or not using, sometimes it may happen that I have only 2 elements here. But still the array size is 5. If I have taken 2 elements, what happens here? Rest of the blocks are empty. That means I'm wasting that much of memory. This can't be used by anybody else because marks have reserved that memory. So one thing has to be remembered while using arrays, that whenever you give the size of the array, you be cautious, like give the array size as required. You need not give more, not even less. If you are giving less, it will be problem for you. If you are giving more, it will be problem for memory management, because that size, that memory can't be used by anybody else unless until it is free. So because you have blocked it, you have booked it, you have initialized it to that size, that much of memory blocks will be booked for this marks only and can't be used by anybody else. So if you are using it sufficiently, fine, well and good. Otherwise, don't give more memory, don't waste the memory. That is one of the limitation of an array. Hope you understood today's class. Thank you.